So we're now nice and mobile through the hips and thoracic spine, but we haven't really elevated the heart rate. That was all very low end. Phase 2 of our warm-up is movement preparation. So this is now raising the heart rate, activating muscles, mobilizing around key joints and getting you ready to train. So we're going to start very simple with a split squat and arm drive. So staying static with the feet now and driving the arms up to the sky. We spoke in phase 1 about the hips being a problematic area and the elastic band being short. So we want to lengthen through that elastic band now. So getting stable first and foremost and driving the arms up, you'll see how that band can be lengthened. So it's push the hips through, lengthen the band, and then come back to start position. So getting stable is key here. Drive those arms up. And again, we want to maintain that neutral head position. We don't want to be flaring, because this will be like a dominoes effect. As soon as the head goes, the ribs go and everything goes. Remember, this is the area we're trying to target. So it's head, rib cage. This is what we want to improve. Push those hips through. So again, 8 to 10 repetitions here, driving the hips forwards, but not extending through the lower back. I'll show you some on the other side as well. Getting stable first, push those hips through. That's a great way to mobilize those hips. The second exercise, we're going to step forwards, stabilize, block yourself off on the inside of the front foot, a couple of oscillations, just get nice and mobile through the hips, and then opening up and following with the eyes. So this is a double whammy, mobilizing the hips and the thoracic spine. Then we're going to step back, come into almost an extended arm plank position, so we don't want to be flaring into extension, so you get a little bit of core work as well. Drive forwards, oscillate, open, drive back, forwards, oscillate, open. And the key with this one is not allowing that knee to flare out too much. Block yourself off here, so when we rotate, we don't want that leg coming out. We want to be blocked, because again, we want that range in the thoracic spine now. Show you a couple more. Step, oscillate, open, and rotate. So now again, attacking the hips, but also working the T-spine in rotation. Super simple, come forwards and rotate. So always rotate the way of the lead leg, so we're getting some range through the hips, but also in rotation, we're getting that spine moving, which is really key ahead of the session. I'll show you some on this side as well. You can see with this being a lot more dynamic, my heart rate's starting to elevate, blood circulating around the body, and I'm priming my system and getting ready for the session ahead. We're now moving into the squat progression, which highlights issues around the ankle complex, the hips, and the thoracic spine. I really like this one. So from here, hinging over, addressing the hamstrings, shoot the hips. We get comfortable in this position, so we're looking for a straight line from head to backside. I will show you a regression in a moment if you can't own this position. So from here, this is what we're looking for. Get comfortable where we feel uncomfortable, which in today's world, unfortunately, this is an uncomfortable position for many because we don't expose ourselves to it. So play around with the hips, get over the ankles as well, and then block yourself off and open the T-spine, follow with the eyes, block yourself off and open. And then from here, hands to the sky and strong out the position. I'll go again in real time, so it's get the hammies involved, hands under toes, shoot the hips, get comfortable in this position. So mobilize those hips, get over those ankles as well, which can be a key focus area for many. And now the thoracic spine. I did mention a regression as well, so if you can't own that position, it's something we can work towards. You can grab onto something, so maybe a fixed contact point like so, and just get into the position here and get over those ankles, get through the hips. You could throw some T-spine work in as well, and then over time, once we've worked on the mobility, you can progress to version 1. We're now going to take you out of the sagittal plane, up, down, forwards and back, and work in what we call the frontal plane, which is actually out to the side of the body. Don't ask. So coming out, we're just going to transfer your weight left and right. So you may remember from phase 1 of the warm-ups, the single leg adductor rocker. What does this look like? It's exactly the same motion, but a little bit more dynamic now. So we're just working across the body, and it might be you haven't exposed yourself to these positions for a while. So again, always just ease into this motion. So this is just called a Cossack split squat, working across the body, reaching with the arms, trying to get these angles and lengthening through the adductor. If you'd like to progress this, you can bring some motion in. So it's loading in and then driving out. Land, load, drive out. If you want to progress further, something I do with some of my athletes is land, load, be aggressive in the drive out, get the athletic position so you're ready to apply force into the ground. But one step at a time, gradually build yourself up. I'll show you a few on this side, otherwise I'll be walking around in circles all day. And now we're going to go into a very advanced exercise. There will be a regression for this one as well. So this is like a hybrid mashup of a lot of what we've already done. So it's work backwards, stabilize first, open the arms up to extend through the hips again, driving up into flexion, increasing range of motion by pulling further. And now here's the hard part. Hinging over into a single leg RDL, influencing the hamstring, and then coming into a hip lock. I appreciate there was a lot going on there, so I'm going to go again. So it's stabilize first, open the hips, drive with the arms, come up into flexion, now actively pull further to increase range, hinge over, and then into the hip lock. Again, getting into those athletic positions. We're trying to groove these patterns, improve technique throughout the warm-up, and it might be you don't get it right away, but over time, if you are consistent with it, you'll start grooving these patterns. And these will also help with the main component of the workout, because that's a single leg RDL. If we can groove it in the warm-up unloaded, we can then take that pattern and that skill into the main component. I'll show you one more on this side, and then I'll show you my dodgy side. Okay, so this side, and you'll always have one side that's probably better than the other. So from here, opening up, so that's attacking my left hip, driving up, actively pulling further, single leg RDL, into the lock. Good positions, we don't want to be toe down, dorsiflex the ankle, ready to apply force into the ground. Again, getting into those good habits, something I coach with my athletes. If we can groove these patterns in an unchaotic environment like the warm-up, it seems pretty chaotic now. I promise you it's windy, that's why I'm getting blown over. Then we can take these patterns and skills into the main workout, under load, under greater speeds, and then into whatever other domain you're in. Whether you're playing football, boxing, tennis, whatever it may be, we're getting into good habits here in a controlled setting, and we can then bring that into a different setting. So that's the movement preparation conclusion.